The following program is a part of Black Squirrel Entertainment.
This week, we've got FanExpo.
And one hell of a finale.
All Systems Go starts right now. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of All Systems Go, the only show that has O-Block in the programming schedule. I have been your host, Tyler Wood.
And this is the end? I'm Josiak. Let's get started. Monkey bombs in Call of Duty Zombies are an extremely valuable item, especially on high rounds with all the zombie clusters. So, chalk it up to luck that TSA snagged a monkey bomb on round 1 while I'm left figuring out Easter egg steps. On Facebook, TSA showed off the item for its Prohibited Items Week, claiming that, quote, replica weapons and items, no matter how cool or collectible, aren't allowed in either carry-on or checked luggage, end quote. However, a few users expressed their frustration with TSA's choice to confiscate the item, with one user saying, quote, so you know it's a toy, but decided to take it anyway? How brave! To be fair, it is a monkey toy with 3 sticks of dynamite on it. So, yeah. I could understand TSA on this one.
A second Minecraft movie run has hit the theaters. The Divisive Film is extending its theatrical run for something called a Minecraft Movie Block Party Edition. The thing with this is that the showings encourage behaviors otherwise frowned upon in other showings. Not arson or violence this time, but instead to, quote, sing and meme along with the film. There are likely several factors going into the decision to extend the theatrical release, most obvious of which is money. After release, the movie shot through just about every expectation of financial success. One can only hope this extension is more Rocky Horror than Morbius.
Electronic Arts is back on the table, unfortunately, and they unfortunately just threw Respawn Entertainment under the bus. EA not only canceled an incubation project at Respawn, but they proceeded to lay off roughly 100 employees at the company. However, not only has the impact hit Respawn, but EA reported that it cut 300 roles across its organization, with Respawn being included. In a post, Respawn stated that it not only was stepping away from 2 incubation projects, one of which being a project set in the Titanfall universe, but that it is going to make some, quote, targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. I wish the best to all those affected and hope that they continue to use their work to create something truly special for the people.
Does Supermassive Games dream of a canceled sheep? This is the question gamers are asking after the reveal of a canceled Blade Runner video game. The title, known as Blade Runner Time to Live, was reportedly going to follow the only Blade Runner in the year 2065. It allegedly featured a 10 to 12 hour campaign that, according to documents, was, quote, a compelling story, blending the philosophical themes of Blade Runner with kinetic action-adventure gameplay, end quote. The game began pre-production in September 2024 with a core team comprised of developers from the Quarry. It apparently featured a $45 million budget, with $9 million of that being spent on external performance capture and acting talent. Hey, maybe if we wait another 35 years, they'll release this one.
For those of you who have PlayStation Plus, we bring you some rather awful news. Pretty awful. PlayStation has announced that it will be clearing out 22 games that are a part of the PlayStation Plus Extra and Plus Premium tier. That includes PS5, PS4, and PS3 titles, such as Grand Theft Auto 5, the Resistance titles, Ghost Runners, Before Your Eyes, great game by the way, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and more. Now, they won't be removed until May 20th, so you've got some time to download and play them while they remain on the storefront. However, it is unknown what games will rotate in to replace them once they leave. So, if you've got Plus Extra or Plus Premium, now's the time to grab these games.
The upcoming Marvel film, Fantastic Four: First Steps, has finally realized that after 3 films and countless appearances in other media, that the general public knows the origin of Marvel's first family, and as such, it won't be included in the movie. It'll be collected in a prequel comic set 4 years before the events of the movie. Jokes aside, this book boasts a solid creative team, being written by Matt Fraction, who is responsible for the popular series Hawkeye Freefall, which inspired the MCU show, and is illustrated by Mark Buckingham, who illustrated the Fable series. I'm sure I'll find a nice PDF when that drops. LEGO also leaked a glimpse at the movie, though, through a set depicting the 4 fierce fighters facing down Galactus, which, for some reason, is surprising to people in a movie where Galactus shows up and fights the Fantastic Four. After the break, the dead shall walk the earth.
And some cowboy shenanigans might happen. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Up next, Darian takes a big sloppy bite out of Project Zomboid.
This past December, the Indie Stone has released Build 42 of Project Zomboid. This update has been in development for years and has some of the game's biggest changes yet, so I'm going to go over just how much this game has changed. Because Build 42 doesn't just bring in new gameplay features, it is heavily altering the game's long-term objectives and moment-to-moment experience. So let's not waste any time. Changes can be grouped into 3 categories: gameplay changes, engine changes, and new content. Let's start with gameplay. Now, a common complaint of Build 41 is that the game got very stale in the late game. Once you've cleared out a city block, you can live with relative safety almost indefinitely, so there's not much else to accomplish besides moving to a new town and starting all over. But now, the domestic side of survival has been heavily expanded, giving you a lot more to do once you've established a base. The crafting system has been given a total overhaul, with new systems for pottery, blacksmithing, stone cutting, and even brewery. This may seem a bit overkill for a zombie survival game, but it shows just how in-depth the developers want this game to be. The new crafting system allows you to progress your way to medieval-level technology starting from a completely empty forest map. Then the crafting recipes for these technologies have modern substitutes implemented to make them more accessible to make with urban materials. So instead of mining ore for metal, you'll be disassembling crates with welding equipment. Farming has also been heavily expanded with dozens of new crops, and the interface has been simplified for more of a Stardew Valley-like experience, so there's endless ways to keep yourself busy on those rainy days where you dare not leave your safe little shelter. But what good are gameplay improvements when the game still looks like an early version of The Sims? That's why major updates have now been made to the game's graphics engine as well. Firstly, the light propagation system. Light now simulates bouncing off of walls and flowing through open doors and windows, which gives a much more realistic lighting appearance. I mean, just look at the comparison. This is especially impressive given that Zomboid is a 2-dimensional game that fakes 3D for everything except for the characters. Which brings me to the next addition, which is the addition of depth maps for different tiles. Before Build 42, all of the tiles were flat sprites, so what would commonly happen is that characters would clip through them as they move around them, because they have no depth. But now that depth maps have been added, they're even better at faking 3D. Just take a look at this screenshot. The staircase here is a completely flat image, it is not 3D at all, but with a depth map added, it can intersect the player more realistically to look like 3D. And lastly is the new content for the game, which I'm going to rapid fire because there's so much of it. Houses now have basements. Skyscrapers go up to 32 floors. Falling players come down 32 floors. With the new crafting system comes new types of weapons that can be built procedurally with scrap parts. New types of fluids can be made with a brewing system. New types of animals were added, both to add detail to urban spaces and hunting mechanics to forest spaces. And lastly, the map size has nearly doubled. New areas have been added to the north of the map, and some of the older cities have even gotten remodeled. After 11 years of development, this game is still wildly improving. What I mentioned here is just the beginning, with even bigger updates scheduled just down the road. This game continues to be an incredible passion project from the devs, and I seriously cannot recommend it enough. Oh, and they also added fishing, because you can't have a survival game without a fishing minigame.
Up next, Laz and I team up to take down some robots. Cowboy shenanigans ensue. Yeehaw.
Hi everybody. Today, we're being cowboys. That's it. That's all I got, really. Alright. Follow me. We got a long way to go.
A year ago or 2 years ago?
I think it was... No, it was 2 years ago, because...
What was the last one of last year?
After Seraph,
Seraph was the last of a season, or of a year, right?
Yeah, that was Witch Queen, so that was 2 years ago. Okay, so let me explain how this part is going to go. So we are going to quite literally be playing Connect the Dots, and I will show you how this works. Also, Tumbleweed.
What's the deal with the tumbleweed? It's just that it exists.
No, because it shows we're in a cowboy town.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're being fired on. So, okay, watch out behind you, because they're gonna see this guy come up.
Oh, hello.
This is a conduit. So kill this guy. Now step in here, and you should get Arctrician. Oh, follow me. Come over here. Come hither.
I'm trying.
Okay. So, through this tunnel, you're going to see... So you see how this wire leads to right here?
Yes.
So that activates that. So then what happens is, if you... So it activates that wire, or this little arc node thing. So this is basically, as you can see how the arrows are right here, this is the starting point.
Okay.
So the good news is we get an infinite amount of time to play with it. So what we're doing is we're going to follow this yellow wire, and we're going to follow it to the next point. So the next point would be technically right there. But because we don't have Artrician, we can't activate it, so we have to kill another Minotaur.
Okay.
Oh, you... Also, watch out for those guys. Or watch out for the Cyclops. So, once you kill it, step in, you'll get Artrician again. We'll go back over here, and we'll shoot this. You see how this now turned blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means that we connected it correctly. So now we're going to go and find the next one. The next one is over here. So we'll shoot this, and then we'll go all the way back over here and shoot this. And you'll know you did it correctly if it says arc node circuit complete.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god. Oh, I jumped into that. Also, watch out for the supplicants. Ah, you're fine, don't worry. And that one. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're good. Now that was... Okay, let's go for a slide. Okay, are you ready for a jumping puzzle?
Yeah, there's always one of those.
Yeah, well, this one is cool, so you're gonna follow me. Alright, I know I left you in the dust a little bit, but there's a bunch of platforms you have to jump on, and then there's one that's by a pillar that's like on the wall you have to jump to.
I have a problem.
Okay, I'll just pull you. Did you? Okay, I'm just gonna pull you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull you.
Okay.
If you wanna look at my character, if you wanna spectate.
Oh yeah, I let myself I respawned again because I just kind of out of instinct.
I'm gonna start the encounter and then die, so that way I pull you.
Okay, I killed the Hydra. Joining allies in 3, 2, 1.
So there's basically 3 levels to this entire thing. No! Shoot that thing. There you go. You completed your first. You completed your first circuit.
Anti-gravity lift now active.
Yep. So now we're going to the second level. There you go. We did it. Pull up. Pull up. You're gonna miss the chest.
Nice.
And I got a
Enriching nugget, seasonal currency.
I got a cowboy helmet. All right. So I'm up here. See me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get up here, but you can't.
I took off the stompies.
But you don't even need stompies to get up here. You just have to.
Yeah.
You can set up on top of the computer.
It helps when you're a failure of a hunter like me.
Have you ever played Garden of Salvation?
Once.
So
it was when it was during the crafting.
So do you know? Do you see this boss right here? This little guy. Yeah. Do you remember that one? This guy right here. This big guy that's feasting on a Minotaur right now.
Is this like the one that's like Gambit, or is
Yeah.
that the different encounter?
It's the one like Gambit. Yes.
They had me doing ad clear on that one.
So basically.
They always have me doing ad clear.
Coming up after the break, a devil may yap. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Up next, Wyatt talks about Devil May Cry 3, but I thought devils never cry.
Hello, my name is Wyatt. Recently, I've been playing Devil May Cry 3. I'm sure you've heard of it. This game is like wildfire, but without the environmental devastation. Also, it's good. It's been released on 7 different systems. Sometimes it releases twice. If it wasn't a Capcom game for the PS2, this would be a massive accomplishment. In February of 2020, Devil May Cry 3 got ported to the Switch. The streets were abuzz about this and exclusively this. Prior to the release, producer Matt Walker was making some big promises on Twitter, revealing the port would include options for style switching and a co-op Bloody Palace. These are pretty cool changes, methinks. An argument could be made that these changes ruin the experience of Devil May Cry 3. Who's making that argument? I don't know, but I disagree with them. I'd love to tell you why. I'm not a combat designer. I hope I never make a game in my life. If you disagree with me, here is my mobile phone number. I'm happy to explain myself during business hours. There's also mild spoilers for this 20-year-old game. Before I begin, I want to give credit where it's due. The features included in the Switch port are inspired by a PC mod to TMC3 called DDMK. DDMK was created by username Serpentine not long after the HD Collection's release on PC in 2018, as a way to merge all of their previous DMC mods into one project. I believe the Style Switcher mod individually was floating around the internet prior to 2018, but this is the first dedicated posting by the creator that I could find. Removed from just DMC3, there are several mods in the DDMK project for various other Devil May Cry games. I can't imagine how much work must have gone into DDMK, and I'm pretty sure Serpentine was a student when they were making it, which is insane. I included a link to the project in the description. I highly encourage you to check it out for yourself, and thank you, Serpentine. When starting a new game on Switch, there's 2 options given. Play with the gameplay unaltered or mode. For those unfamiliar with the combat of Devil May Cry, DMC3 introduced styles that the player could switch between at divinity statues or between missions. While some entries have special styles, 3 included, the core 4 are Trickster, Swordmaster, Gunslinger, and Royal Guard. For those familiar with DMC3's classic gameplay, it's pretty fascinating how natural it feels to swap styles on the fly in this game. Maybe it's the DMC5 in my blood, but if I press right on the D-pad, I expect to swap to Swordmaster, not open the map. DMC3 has a map? With 4 paragraphs worth of context, now is as good a time as any to actually talk about how it plays. It's pretty cool. The Switch port relies on pre-existing game design for the player to utilize mode. For new players, the early missions are just as intuitive as classic DMC3, but it's also helpful for more experienced players to adjust to the gameplay change. Vanilla DMC3 only lets the player select 2 of 5 devil arms at a time, same with the 5 available guns. With it's all 10 at all times. Baby! There's a lot more weapon switching on the fly, which I see as both a positive and a negative. In my opinion, 2 weapons at a time is far more manageable to keep a consistent rank. When I'm swapping between all 5 devil arms, it's ironically more difficult to use weapons in tandem. And yeah, I know DMC 4 and 5 have more than 2 weapons with way more actions available, but the range of those options in those games encourage more rapid switching compared to 3. Next is the 2 unique styles. Who could forget Quicksilver and Doppelganger? Guys, can you hear me? Is my mic muted? In classic DMC3, these can't be leveled up and consume DT to activate, which doesn't make either a viable substitute for the core 4, besides giggles. Style switching, on the other hand, is all about giggles, so cut loose. I still don't find myself using Doppelganger much, but Quicksilver can really easily take control of a fight. Regarding changes in mode, I personally wish the team responsible for the port added an option at divinity statues to level up styles by spending red orbs similar to DMC 4 and 5. Instead, it keeps the classic DMC3 method, where collecting red orbs increases the meter of whatever style is equipped. Though granted, buying style upgrades would fundamentally change game progression, which tries not to disrupt. It's just a lot of grinding Mission 18, and there's nothing that makes me angrier than playing a game I enjoy. Compared to Devil May Cry 4 and 5, I found that style switching in 3 should be used in smaller bursts. 5 encourages non-stop style switching every other second, but in 3, I like to keep a style for a good 5 to 10 seconds. That's not to say Devil May Cry 4 and 5 can't be played like that. They both can, and it's an effective way to deal with enemies in those games, but with it's more constrained? I don't know. Later games have a lot more abilities attached to each style compared to 3, so similar to my thoughts with weapon switching, the game's not really calling for you to consistently switch the way 4 and 5 do. You might notice by now that I've complained about combat having too many options and too few. You're correct. Over and despite it all, this mode surprisingly works, like really well. Any issues I mentioned previously are either nitpicks or my own opinion. This is still a completely viable way to experience Devil May Cry 3. When it comes to the Nintendo Switch release, it's designed not to disrupt the difficulty of Devil May Cry 3. DDMK is simply a mod. It's not expected to maintain the balance of the game, but even then, I'd hardly say the experience is broken by it. Between both Classic and DMC3, the difficulty, the movement, the combat, and everything else that makes this game great to play still functions. But even if some weird purist who's allergic to fun doesn't like it, then it's just an option. Original is right there. None of this added content is mandatory, and trust me, it's just as good either way. With the upcoming anime, this franchise is back in the spotlight and halfway to a Fortnite skin. There's never been a better time to pretend you've always been a fan of the franchise than by buying its products now. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, well, you see, that can happen sometimes. What you have to do is watch this video again from beginning to end.
After the break, Sophia subjects her friends to inhumane experiments in the names of science or a god best left forgotten. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Up next, Sophia and friends endure what can be best described as a new layer of hell. God have mercy.
4 years ago, one of my very first videos I made for ASG was a ranking of the Jackbox party packs because I was and still am a very big fan of them. Now that I'm about to graduate, almost 4 years later, the number has increased in how many party packs exist, and there needs to be an update in my ranking. There also needs to be a rework in how I decide this ranking. Instead of it just being my opinion, I decided to gather a few of my friends, and we decided mathematically which Jackbox party pack was the best. I'm going to dive into each and every party pack, and I'm going to show you what my friends decided based on real mathematical data and about 10 hours of gameplay. Let's get started. The very first Jackbox party pack was an expansion of individual games that were released, kind of expansion packs, and a couple new games that were innovated. Granted, when we played this pack, we did not have the most fun. You Don't Know Jack is known for being a little bit annoying in terms of how it operates and how the host speaks to you as a player. We did not enjoy it. The data for this pack just about perfectly reflected how we were interacting with each other while playing the games. Our favorite game was a tie between Lie Swatter and Fibbage XL. One person did like Drawful, and this is obviously clear with the general population of people that like Jackbox because they've made Drawful 3 more times after this. The overall score that this pack received was a 3 out of 10. It didn't land very far with us. Nobody would pay full retail price for this. It was $24.99 on Steam at the time of recording. And some of the comments that I received from my friends were that Joe bought the pack and regrets it every day, and Anthony hates Jack of You Don't Know Jack. You'd think with how we viewed this first party pack, the second would not be much of an improvement, right? Well, we were proven wrong, because Party Pack 2 had a lot more enjoyment for us overall. We were pleasantly surprised by Earwax, and this was the game that was considered the favorite among the group, even though one person decided to vote for Quiplash XL despite how much we enjoyed Earwax as a group. The overall score was a 6 out of 10, a major jump from that 3 in the first pack, and still, despite the success, nobody would pay full retail price, $24.99 on Steam. Some of the comments I received were that we were generally impressed by the improvement from Party Pack 1, and that Earwax is genuinely an underrated game. We were really surprised that we hadn't heard about it more or played it before in the past. From here we moved on to Party Pack 3. This is one of my favorites, and this was one of the packs that I was first exposed to in high school. The games that my friends did like were Fakin' It and Quiplash 2, those two tied for number 1, but someone did also vote for Trivia Murder Party to be their favorite. The overall score was a 6.6 out of 10, so another slight improvement from the second Party Pack, but yet still, no one would pay full retail price for this. Again, $24.99 on Steam. And now we move on to Party Pack 4. This is towards the end of our first day, and we were getting a little tired, but still having a great deal of fun. Now, this is a game that highly relies on new games, and they were lucky with the gambles that they took. We really enjoyed Monster Seeking Monster. That was our favorite. One person also liked Survive the Internet, and another liked Bracketeering. This received an overall score of a 7 out of 10, and one person will pay for retail price. And there were no comments aside from what I just told you. We were having a really good time with this. There's only one game that we didn't fully enjoy. All of the other ones we found at least a little bit of value in. Our last pack of the first day was Party Pack 5. This was a stinker to end the day on. Patently Stupid was our favorite game by far. You already know that we don't like You Don't Know Jack, so that didn't end up very well. We did enjoy Split the Room, and we did enjoy Madverse City to a certain degree. Zeepeldome we could not understand at all. The overall score was 4.2 out of 10, and nobody would pay retail price. Specifically, this is where the party packs jumped from $24.99 on Steam to $29.99, and people were not thrilled. Tyler specifically said, if someone in a store asked me to buy this for full price, I would beat him, steal his bus fare, and walk home. Tyler, you have such a way with words. That was the end of our first day. We reconvened 2 days later to play the rest of the party packs, and boy did it get interesting. Party Pack 6 to start us off was not a bad pack to start off with, but it is also considered just generally mid. Our favorite game was Role Models as a whole, but we were pretty split on this. 2 people liked Role Models, 1 liked Joke Boat, 1 liked Trivia Murder Party, and 1 liked Push the Button. So there was a game in this pack for everyone, and I think that's something to say when there is enough variety that someone found something that they liked. The overall score for this pack was a 6.6 out of 10, so not as high as Party Pack 4, but it was still one of the higher ranking packs of the group overall. Party Pack 7 is a pack that holds a lot of power behind it. It's the most popular version of Quiplash that people see, as well as strong games like Champed Up, Talking Points, Blather Round, and Devils in the Details. Overall, we ranked this at a 6.9 out of 10. Our favorite game was Talking Points, but 1 person liked Champed Up and 1 person liked Quiplash 3. When we played this game, we enjoyed Quiplash, Champed Up, and Talking Points, but Blather Round and Devils in the Details were either too complicated or just not very entertaining for us. Party Pack 8 is where the delirium began to set in. I think one of our fatal mistakes when conducting this experiment was starting our second day towards the end of the day instead of in the afternoon like day 1. On day 1 we played from 12 to 5 p.m. On Monday we played from 6 to 11 p.m. That's going to do something to your head, and that certainly started to show when we played this pack. Overall, we gave this a 5 out of 10, and our favorite game was a tie between Job Job and Pull Mine, but 1 person also liked the Wheel of Enormous Proportions. I would say in this pack, you can find value in about 4 of the 5. Weapons Drawn is a social deduction murder game that is a little too complicated for what a party game is supposed to be. The others are simple enough that you can get behind it and you can work through it. And with that, we move on to Party Pack 9, where we were just going crazy. Our favorite game was Junktopia, in which you are frogs that are trying to sell antique items to each other. 1 person also liked Nonsensory, which is kind of like a hive mind game, and 1 person liked Fibbage 4. The overall score was a 4 out of 10, and we were completely losing it. When we were playing Roomerang, we kind of got into our characters a little too deep, and it was crazy and fun, but we needed to move on. And it's where we get to Party Pack 10. I am ashamed to say that this newest pack was a stinker. Dodo Re Mi was the unanimous favorite of this pack, where you are birds that play a musical game, and it was very fun and silly. We enjoyed it overall, and it certainly pleased our sleep-deprived minds. And with that, our experiment was complete. I think the biggest thing that we learned from this is that certain packs definitely have more value than others, and it is certainly important to know that you do not need every single pack to fully enjoy what Jackbox has to offer. Granted, yes, now I do own almost every single pack, however, I certainly don't need to. But there is one pack that stood above the rest, and that was Party Pack 4, with an overall score of 7 out of 10. We were really impressed with this pack overall, and like I had mentioned, there was only 1 game that we didn't really enjoy. The others were fun and engaging and had just enough detail to keep us hooked. And now we know that Jackbox Party Pack 4 has mathematically been chosen as the best Jackbox Party Pack. With that, my videos for ASG come to an end, and I am very excited to see what the rest of my friends do tonight and for the future of ASG. Bye!
After the break, we might put a bump stuck on the Omnitrix. Stick around and find out. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Hey Hey Paisanos, I'm Super Kami Guru Keyblade Master Eric with my fellow non-Kami Gurus for another round of Guppy Tank. Guppy Tank. Guppy Tank is simple. Our contestants come up to the stage to present an idea. Then we, the judges, decide on our favorite. This week's topic is upgrades to fictional weapons. Let's begin. I'm taller than Cam for once. Sophia, we're starting with you. Let's get in there. 30 seconds.
Guppies.
Yes.
So I am pitching the idea of a lightsaber, right?
Okay.
There are so many activities that you can do with a lightsaber, right? But what I said is that you can add, here, I'm gonna go this way, fireworks and strobe lights, so that after you save the galaxy and conquer your daddy issues, you can go to the cantina and just have a great time.
I have a question.
The
What's
Rave
up?
Saber?
Why did you add RGB lights to it?
Just because I thought it'd be the easiest
10 more
colors to
seconds.
put on there, and then you can combine them.
Anything else you want to tell us?
I don't think I have enough time. That's all.
All right, you're out.
Okay, bye.
Up next, we have Laz.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
in Destiny 2, there are two swords. They're called half truths and the other half. You combine them, and this is what you get. This.
Get the full
Yes,
thing.
it is a Halo energy sword.
What's the upgrade?
That you can use both sides of the sword now, and it looks really cool. It's got two colors.
You get a double eager egg.
It's if you want to. It depends on how you craft it.
It
Probably
does.
depends on which perks you put on
One
it.
has
All right, out of time. Next.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There's one that's like a certain affinity.
Brian?
Okay, guys, your honors. I'm going. First of all, let me move over here. I present the snipe mace, because you're just gonna put a sniper with melee mace. You shoot it, and it literally it's on chain, so you can actually swing it around like a melee weapon too, if you wish. And we
So
all know Mario characters hate Astrobot, so we have Astrobot.
You got 5 more
breaking the
seconds.
laws. That's
So
all
it's
the
a
time I
sniper
have.
that shoots maces, or?
It's on chain.
All right, move it. Coleman.
All right, you guys, I present to you the Spirit Boogie Bomb.
my
Basically,
God.
it is a Boogie Bomb from Fortnite, but the size of the Spirit Bomb from Dragon Ball. You can throw it down, and it doesn't have the destructive capability of a normal Spirit Bomb, but once it lands, you got the entire planet doing the boogie woogie on it just like you would in Fortnite. Thoughts?
Anything else we need to know?
Not currently, just Boogie Bomb, big old Boogie Bomb. Spirit Boogie Bomb.
Spirit
Intro.
Boogie Bomb.
You know, good enough.
Got it, get it.
I think that works for me.
Charlene, you're up.
That works for me.
Hello, I made an Arc Blade. It's a Keyblade, but I upgraded it with the power of Arceus from Pokemon. As a result, depending on the opponent you go against, it can change type to automatically give you type advantage against whatever you're fighting. And as a bonus effect, since I found out that Shadow Pokemon are actually created through a similar manner to Heartless, if you hit a Shadow Pokemon or Heartless with this Keyblade, it will turn back into a normal person or Pokemon or depart back to the afterlife.
Any other information?
It also has a long-range attack that allows you to either wipe out everything on the field if it's at full charge, or whatever your opponents are directly in front of you if you can't get close range.
All right, Vinny, you're up.
That was excellent presentation.
99% of Minecraft players don't realize that in the first Minecraft world, you are infected with the woke mind virus. Upon drinking a milk bucket in Minecraft, you get rid of all your potion effects. But with this upgraded item, you can also rid yourself of the woke mind virus and get rid of the liberal agenda that all systems go has been implemented into your brain. Thank you, Guppies, for your time.
There's no other information. That's it?
Is it just a milk bucket?
Okay.
What's the combination?
Okay, guys, what are we cooking here?
I'm thinking the Pokemon one, the Arceus sword. I really like.
I'm of two minds because
I'm a big fan of
the woke mind virus here is pretty strong.
But what is it combination with? It's just a milk bucket.
Good point.
If that's not
It's a super milk bucket.
okay, but that's not.
Joe?
I'm in shock. I like the Keyblade one. I think it's got a really good design. I like the presentation for it too.
It sounds like we're 3 for 3
But-
on the Keyblade one. Charlene wins.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. After the break, we're expoing some fans. I think I read that right. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Up next, we're showing off our experience at FanExpo. We hope you enjoy.
Hello, this is All Systems Go reporting from FanExpo Cleveland. I am one of your lovely hosts, Tyler Wood.
And I'm also one of your lovely hosts, Joe Ziak.
I'm one of the showrunners, Sammy Brinkoff. And I'm the TV executive producer, Coleman Arthur. Let's have fun.
We started off by wandering around the vendor hall for a little while before our interviews.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this.
Whoa.
You're gonna be the card holder.
You're the discard pile.
Card holder.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I can't read it.
We got Machamp.
No, Machamp's the big guy, right?
Yeah. We got.
Can't read that one either.
I have no idea what this
That's
is.
Tangela.
That's Tangela.
Tangela.
Big fan.
Oh, okay.
What is this?
Nidoqueen.
Yeah, it's Nidoqueen.
Yeah, it's Nidoqueen. We got Trainer.
I mean, that dude right there is Trainer.
Name her.
I don't remember.
I'm saying you should name her. Give her a new name. Toby.
And last pack. Reverse Hollow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is cool. Cool. Thanks, Dad.
Hey guys, Tyler here, interviewing Joe's dad. Joe's slightly off to the side where he cannot interfere.
Every morning before I go to work, I have my coffee. I watch a half an hour of Rick and Morty. You just can't get enough of Rick and Morty. I mean, Pickle Rick! So that's pretty much where my nerdness is. I wish my brother Jeff was here if he was in town, because us together, it's just epic nerdness right now.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time today. It's really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you
All
guys.
right. Yeah.
Love the show. I'm going to be sad when, you get Joey graduates, and this is last year, but I've enjoyed every year, every episode. It's just a great show, and you guys do a great job, so thank you.
After a while, we finally got to the interviews.
About 10 years ago, you wrote and directed a short called Specifically. Big fan. It was a really fun watch. Was there anything sort of in the writing of it that you could tell me that sort of led you to make all of the characters children in that?
I used to love this series when I was a kid. You wouldn't know. It's called Bugsy. It was Bugsy Siegel, or about Bugsy Siegel. It was like Tatum O'Neal, a bunch of kid actors, children were doing adult dialogue. I think it was Bugsy Siegel. It was something Siegel. I've forgotten the name of it actually now. Sorry, somebody will know. But it was really cool in the 70s, and watching children do adult dialogue is hilarious to me. To me, it makes it more relatable for most people who suddenly are taken aback by the delivery system.
For context, the entire week leading up to FanExpo, Coleman had been correcting us and just emphasizing that it's Kyle A. Bear. Every single time someone would say Kyle Herbert, he'd go, no, it's actually Kyle A. Bear.
Hey everyone, we are here at FanExpo with Kyle Herbert, famous for the roles of Gohan from Dragon Ball and Ryu from Street Fighter. Awesome characters. So we're here I want to ask you some questions here. So first one I kind of want to ask is, as I mentioned, you're very famous for your roles as Gohan and Ryu. Those are both characters that have received significant character development over the years. So I kind of wanted to ask, how have you been able to, adapt / evolve your portrayals with those voices to kind of portray with their character development?
Well, I guess the nice thing is chronologically, I'm getting older, but so do the characters. And the really, really nice thing is, as opposed to characters like on The Simpsons or Charlie Brown, anime characters and characters in Japanese pop culture, they get older, they have families, they have kids and so forth. Maybe not Ryu so much, but he is older as the games progress. It's nice to see, their character paths and everything. And, my career started 25 years ago with Dragon Ball Z. I started as a fan, then I got to join that, and because of my involvement in that, has led to other opportunities, including Street Fighter. So it's been a really, really wild roller coaster ride through the years in pop culture, because I'm doing voiceover because I love the craft, but I'm also a fan too. So getting to be deeply immersed in the whole world of games and anime dubs and everything is just literally for me a dream come true.
Even with villains, you've also played heroes as well. Specifically, for example, you've played as the pilot in Halo Infinite. What was that like? I mean, that's a very big role to do, especially with a character like the Master Chief.
Yeah, entering that world after it being around 20 years was crazy, man. I felt like, am I really in Halo? This is crazy. My favorite experience of my life working on Halo Infinite. They were flying me back and forth to Seattle from Los Angeles every month for a long time, and it brought me back to my theater roots, doing motion capture work on that, performance capture work. The team was incredible. The storyline, I loved it. I was hoping we were going to carry on. Maybe that chance is still there. But by far, the coolest experience ever. It took me right back to theater where I was actually like physically performing. No dialogue in front of you on the page. You come in, memorized, prepared, ready to go. So that's where I come from. That's my realm, you know, and that's what I love to do.
Well, that's the end of day 1 for FanExpo. But hey, I think we're coming back for day 2. So, Jenny, do a cool transition. And the transition is complete. We're back for day 2 of FanExpo. How are we feeling today, gentlemen?
Feeling broke in advance.
I'll second that. I'll third that.
We're not interviewing celebrities today, but we are going to do some more stuff here today for day 2. So let's get into it. What do you say?
You're all lemmings.
Cut the camera. Cut the camera.
Day 2 was the fun day, where I collected B-roll and we spent all of our money. There was this really cool booth with awesome patches. The vendor was super nice. We also met some other cool vendors.
Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Wood from All Systems Go, here with Maddie Silver. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your books today?
These are Choose Your Own Adventure series. Over 150 endings collectively, and no order in where you start. Any one of the 3 here can become your number 1. You are the main character. So if you decide to craft a talisman, you can choose a planetary influence to use. Each one will draw different spirits to your side, and each one of those spirits will offer you different powers. With those powers, you'll weave a story. And what that will look like will be different every time you read. Whether the story becomes a meta-fantasy, whether it becomes an alchemical experiment, whether it becomes a psychedelic experience, or even a thriller. It is all up to you.
If one were to be in a Highlander type situation in which you had to decapitate your opponent quicker than they can decapitate you, which of your swords would you recommend for that?
Oh geez, alright. I'd probably go with either this one or Frost from World of Warcraft. I think would be a good one. Alright. Definitely, that would probably be my pick, would be Frost from World of Warcraft.
And throughout the course of the day, we saw a few familiar faces.
His name is Kyle A. Bear. If Coleman tells you otherwise, he is a liar and a snake, and he would deserve exactly what he gets when he dies. Any thoughts? Have you been watching that new Daredevil?
No, I haven't.
A lot of Dekus here.
For the full interviews, check us out on YouTube at All Systems Go BSE.
Well, that's all the time we have for this year at FanExpo. I've been Tyler Wood.
I'm Joe Ziak.
I'm Sammy Brinkoff. I'm Coleman Arthur.
See you around, guys.
After the break, Joe's dad talks big lizards and bigger opinions. All Systems Go. We'll be right back.
Up next, my dad makes his first time appearance to talk Godzilla. Love you, Dad.
Growing up, we all had our favorite Sunday morning shows we couldn't wait to watch. Whether it be SpongeBob SquarePants, The Regular Show, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Barney, or the Teletubbies. The last 2 I still don't get. These shows told us, yes, it is officially the weekend, and we don't have to go to school today. One of my favorite Saturday shows was Superhost. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superhost. Give me that shoe. Still makes me laugh today. This is where I remember seeing my first Godzilla movie. What Godzilla movie was, I can't tell you, but I was hooked. He was bigger than life, and back then a dude in a rubber suit fighting other dudes in rubber suits while destroying miniature versions of cities was to me like watching the CGI effects in movies today. Every Saturday I would turn on Superhost hoping that it would be a Godzilla movie, and disappointed when it wasn't. I even had a plastic Godzilla model, all green, that I built. My brother had King Kong, cool model, but as we all know from the newer movies, Godzilla is the stronger kaiju. With all that being said, I want to share with you my top 5 Godzilla battles. And away we go! At number 5 we have Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. This is on my list because I think they did a good job with the Tokyo fight scene. Kong with his stone axe and Godzilla with just his attitude, tale of death and bad breath. This was an epic slugfest without a doubt and played very well on the big screen. When Kong comes up through the big hole in the earth and they first clash, I was blown away. I also love that they stuck to tradition of unnecessarily destroying anything within a 2-mile radius of the fight. At number 4, Destroy All Monsters, 1968. The final battle of this movie is a Royal Rumble of monster fights, and by Royal Rumble I mean Godzilla and Posse even gang up on King Ghidorah in the final fight and whoop some alien multi-headed butt. The fight featured Gorosaurus, Barney before his morning coffee, Angurius, probably the most authentic historical depiction of a real dinosaur, Kumonga, Varan, Manila, not Milli Vanilli, Rodan, Mothra, pre-evolution into the actual moth, and my man Godzilla. Son of a Godzilla is also in the movie for what I can only guess was comedy relief or a marketing thing to sell more Godzilla merchandise. Even with the awesome amount of monster power, King Ghidorah gives them a run for their money, but in the end it's just too much for the king. At number 3, Godzilla vs. Megalon, 1973. The tag team event of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar versus Megalon, and the tag team event of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar versus Megalon and Gigan was epic. Jet Jaguar is getting his butt kicked by Megalon and Gigan. Then Godzilla shows up and takes on both of these posers with a proper beating. As usual, the good guys start getting their butts kicked, but are able to overcome the overwhelming force of Megalon and Gigan and eventually win the battle. The final fight scenes are some of my favorite. First, Jet Jaguar breaks Megalon's arm, proceeds to throw him in the air like a clay pigeon that Godzilla proceeds to blow out of the sky with his nuclear breath, and then Jet Jaguar holds up Gigan and Godzilla performs the greatest tail-balancing drop kick ever. I love this movie. At number 2, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019. Godzilla and King Ghidorah in the 2019 film Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Overall, I really enjoyed the reboot of the Godzilla franchise and enjoyed the first 3 movies, Godzilla, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. The last King Kong movie should have never been made in my opinion. But I digress. My favorite battle in this movie is the end battle with King Ghidorah in Boston and the destruction of Fenway Park. Suck it, Red Sox. Go Guardians. There were a couple of good fight scenes, but the part that stood out to me most was the ending when Godzilla proceeds to go nuclear and blast King Ghidorah with his excessive amount of stored up nuclear energy. He fries the king's wings and then proceeds to crush his chest with a curb stop. The coup de grace of this was him eating the king's head and then belching. Gotta love that stuff. That's good movie. And here we're at my final one. At the number 1, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. Not that, movie and, the one Godzilla vs. Kong. We're talking the original. The reason this is my favorite battle is because as a kid, seeing the King of the Monsters go toe-to-toe with a larger-than-life Dinobot with an arsenal of weapons that could level an entire army was epic. My favorite part of the movie is where Godzilla is just getting the tar beat out of him by Mechagodzilla and shoots Godzilla with a bunch of spiky finger rockets. Godzilla goes down in a heap, and you're thinking, hey, he ain't getting up from this. But then all of a sudden he digs deep like the Karate Kid in the last fight scene, stands up, shakes it all off, stores up a huge amount of electricity, which propels all the metal finger stakes out of his body, zaps Godzilla with an electromagnetic pulse, and proceeds to execute a Mortal Kombat fatality move by ripping off Mecha Godzilla's head. Absolutely priceless. So that is my top 5 Godzilla fights. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together and enjoying watching ASG for the last 4 years. This is Joe's dad signing off. Thank you.
After the break, Anthony bravely treads new ground, like a 7-foot-tall Magellan. All systems go, we'll be right back.
Up next, Anthony, Vinny, and I talk about what we consider to be the most influential Geometry Dash levels. Bloodbath 1.
Welcome back. My name is Anthony, and I'm here with
Joe.
Vinny. And we're going to be talking about Geometry Dash again. We are 3 big fans of the game. We're going to be talking about our levels that we think are most important when it comes to the history of Geometry Dash. And we've kind of come up with a couple of levels between the 3 of us, and we're going to talk about them now. So I will start us off with a very, I think, pretty predictable level, and that is Stereo Madness.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the first level in the game. It's like the level that everybody plays, and when you see it, you are, whether you play the game or not, you're like, oh, that's Geometry Dash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I still have problems getting past that first spike.
Dude.
It's very hard. I mean, like...
You're supposed to get past it?
I think I'm gonna take a giant step up. I'm going with Limbo.
Oh yeah.
As one of my one of the most influential levels in the game. The reason I can say that is because of not only is it one of the hardest memory demons in the game itself, but
Probably is the hardest memory demon.
yeah. But not only that, but it utilizes one of the coolest mechanics, which is the keys, because those keys are actually generated based off the movement of the player itself. So the amount of jumps, the path that you take, it's all influential to the key itself, and I think that's what's really cool about it. And also, it just went through multiple revisions as well before landing on the final product.
It's also that key sequence at the very end of that level has spawned a lot of memes too, even without.
It's blue! It's blue! It's blue!
Oh my god, it's blue! It's blue! It's blue! It's blue! Oh my god! Oh, it's blue!
So the first level I want to talk about is Retray. And there's a couple things that are really important about it. One is the most liked level and most downloaded level on Geometry Dash, which is, that in itself is extremely iconic. Another thing is that when it was a level in 1.9, it was one of the most groundbreaking levels of the time, because back then move triggers weren't a thing, alpha triggers weren't a thing, touch triggers weren't a thing. So you really had to rely on those flashy object color triggers in order to make your level really stand out. And while at times other levels would look like an epileptic nightmare, Retray actually was able to use the mechanics to make something extremely cool. And while it is updated to 2.2 now, I think that the 1.9 version is one of the best levels ever created, for sure.
It is a very iconic level. All right, so I'm going to do kind of a twofer here. The 2 levels that I'm going to pair together are levels called Gravity Field and Wave Wave. So these are both levels made by a creator named Darnock. And Darnock is a really OG creator, and the reason why I bring up these 2 levels specifically, even the fact that one of them is not even rated in game, is that they have inspired RobTop, the developer of Geometry Dash, to actually essentially implement game modes based off of these levels. So Gravity Field, what Gravity Field is you are the cube mode that it's a bunch of rings in the air. It almost kind of acts like a precursor to the UFO, and the UFO is created.
Yeah.
And then Wave Wave was a level where you play as a UFO the whole time, and there's a whole bunch of blue rings in the level, and you kind of click between them, so it harshly kind of up and down movement with the UFO. Therefore, the wave was created.
I think that's really cool that the same guy inspired 2 official game modes.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That's actually really cool. All right.
What's your next pick, Joe?
My next pick is Demon Park by M2 Cole L.
Okay.
Now, it's not a lot, but it does have about 22.5 million downloads
Yeah,
and 760K
Oh, yeah.
likes. You know, casual.
Very casual
You know, pretty
stats.
low.
That's low for Jump Dash.
But the reason I actually have it listed as a very influential level is because Demon Park's existence is the reason why demons in Geometry Dash exist.
Yeah.
Because the name Demon Park and how hard it was. I mean, around that time, many people didn't really enjoy much of the challenge of Geometry Dash, and now it's, you know, demon levels are now, you know, very widely popular, you know, difficulty itself.
Yeah. I'd say the next level that I want to bring up, I think it would be criminal if we did not mention this one, 9 Circles by Zobros. It is without a doubt one of the most, probably the most influential hard demon level ever made. The reason I say that is because, for one, it also plays a lot in like the 1.9 effects, specifically the wave part that you play throughout the rest of the end of the level. And along with that too, I've seen people refer to like certain levels and like certain parts of levels as like 9 circles levels or 9 circles parts. And I think if that, like, your level is being used to describe other levels, that says enough about how influential it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I think for my last one I'm going to mention for this video is Bloodbath.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I bring up Bloodbath is because for the time it was the hardest level in the game, like as determined by the community. It was verified by Wyatt, which took him a while to verify, and I think it stood as the #1 demon for like 10 months before it was finally dethroned. And also kind of the reason why I want to bring this up, because of its difficulty, but because I would say that once Wyatt verified that level, Geometry Dash entered the kind of era that it is in now, where people have constantly have been trying to make like really difficult levels and pushing how far we as humans can play the game. Look at Tidal Wave. That crap is insane. I almost wanted to say the bad word, but I didn't.
The fact that it's like, that's, as you said, it's a shift in the overall vibe of like the creator community wanting to build the hardest level. My final pick, I would say that my third pick would be actually Serious by Funny Game. I love the song that is used by Mafia Pineapple. I just love the overall vibe that it has. I mean, it had a really cool, unique design perspective, but I think what was most influential was its boss fight design. I think its boss fight is not only unique, it's really cool. It has a lot of unique aspects to it. You start off as a wave, and then you go to a bunch of other game modes as well.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's just a really cool level with a unique boss. And it works really well because it would also be like, you know, other people have created boss designs before, but it's like this one feels really influential to creating those bosses.
It kind of was like one of the earliest levels that utilized a boss level or a boss fight within its level.
Yeah.
And also another little random fun fact about the level: the actual like in-game name for Serious is -Serious-, which hyphens are illegal characters, and you can't type them into like the search function for the game. So trying to search it up normally is like impossible.
Yeah.
The final level that I want to mention is an official level. It's Dash. It's the most recent level in Geometry Dash, and I think the reason that I like it so much is because it was that big rollout for 2.2. It was the most anticipated update of the entire game. Yeah. It's my favorite level right now. I think the gameplay is awesome. I absolutely love the visuals of it.
Do you like the spider part?
Spider part. We don't talk about the spider part. But other than that,
a fan.
Other than that, Dash, in my opinion, is easily one of the most influential levels.
Yeah.
It's just that rollout of 2.2 is so iconic.
Dash is a fun level.
Dash is a very fun level.
I agree.
It's also a very hyped song too by MDK. Yeah. Anyways, there's probably a lot more levels that we could talk about, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wrap it here. Thank you guys for joining the discussion today, and we'll send it over to the next thing. Bye.
After the break, I host a game that's criminally pedantic. All systems go. We'll be right back. Welcome to the correction game. The rules are simple. I will present our contestants with a statement about something that we would discuss on this show, but I will include an incorrect fact in that statement. And it's up to our contestants to spot the wrong information for points. And stealing a point is possible if you're more specific with a correction of your own. Our contestants are Sammy Brinkoff, Darian Yoder, Wyatt Simon, and Joe Ziak. Let's get started. Our first question comes from the No More Heroes franchises. In the 2019 video game Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, the titular protagonist tries to use the Death Drive Mark II, a virtual reality game console, in order to resurrect Badgirl, a boss from the first game in the series. But due to his completion of an unfinished game titled Killer Marathon, his wish backfires, and Badgirl is returned to life as a little girl who Travis must adopt and raise as his own in the third game. Darian, you raised your hand first?
It's not the third game.
Not what I'm looking for. Sammy?
He doesn't raise her.
You're finding the right thing. Can you be more specific?
No.
Okay, Darian, can you be more specific?
Not his daughter, but his son.
Also not there. Wyatt, your hand was up.
It's not his responsibility.
What was that?
It's not like it's not on him to raise her.
We're gonna give this one to Sammy. Okay. The correction is that Badgirl was initially resurrected as a small yappy dog, which prompts the true ending of the game to resurrect her as an adult woman when she becomes a playable character. All right. Our second question comes from DC Comics. In his first appearance way back in DC Comics Presents number 52, Ambush Bug's teleportation powers are initially thanks to a pair of magic caterpillars named Where's It and There's It respectively. However, following an accident which fused him with the caterpillars, the powers became completely his own, which is the status quo followed to this day. Wyatt, your hand was up first?
They're not his powers.
No, it's not it. Cam?
Caterpillars have different names?
You're stumbling on it.
Okay.
Darian.
They were not caterpillars.
Can we get more specific than that
They
for Darian?
were beetles.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Darian here. The initial appearance, he used little robots he referred to as bugs. However, none of them were named and they were not in the shape of caterpillars. Our next question comes from Far Cry. In the game Far Cry 5, the player is slowly conditioned to violence over the course of the game, with the trigger being the song Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. This culminates in one possible ending where, while driving away from Hope County, the trigger song plays on the radio, forcing the player to kill his friends.
What?
Wyatt?
It's not sung by Nat King Cole. That song, but not.
Okay. You are sort of circling the correct thing here. Can you be a little more specific?
Are you looking for like the actual artist?
You have discovered that it's not the right song.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Oh,
Can you tell me the right song here?
No,
Okay, we got 10 seconds.
Freebird?
Okay, no. Sammy with the steal, one try.
Is it Amazing Grace?
No. All right, Wyatt, you get the point for that one. All right, our next question comes from Dragon Ball Z. In the Dragon Ball Z film Fusion Reborn, several villains are returned to Earth due to hijinks in Hell. Some of these villains include Frieza, Bojack, Cooler, Kui, Dr. Wheelo, Adolf Hitler, and Hachiyak. Wyatt?
I don't think Adolf Hitler was there.
I am so proud to tell you you're wrong.
What?
Proud?
Bojack is not a Dragon Ball character. He's a horseman.
No.
And then he says, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Sammy?
Yeah. It's not, Kui's not there, whatever that guy was.
Nope. Anyone else want to get the steal? If not, we'll just move on.
Big Wheel wasn't there.
No, Dr. Wheelo was there.
Ah.
All right, nobody gets the point for that one. The answer was Hachiyak, because he came from a video game decades later. All right, this is going to be our final question tonight. This comes from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, man.
The world of Faerun holds many eclectic companions, some of whom are locked behind certain storylines. For instance, the tiefling bard Alfira is only able to join the party if you are not currently playing as the Dark Urge character. Since if you play as the character, she will be killed there. Oh, Sammy.
Alfira can never join the party.
You are correct. Point for Sammy.
I'm never playing.
Sammy wins. Thank you very much for playing. The winner was Sammy. After the break, Eric closes the book on Kingdom Hearts. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Sammy's hurt.
Up next, Eric concludes his Kingdom Hearts series.
Hey Paisanos, we're back with the Kingdom Hearts World Review. This round we're gonna have a whale of a time in Monstro from Pinocchio. SDG get bored by a whale. Riku shows up, edges the audience on plot details and jerks off somewhere. Monstro gets indigestion and spits everyone out. This is definitely my favorite Disney World so far. I have a lot of praise, so let's start with the problems. Everything looks damn same, which is partially the point as Monstro is supposed to be a maze, but it would have been nice to have a couple more notable landmarks. It's way too easy to get turned around and end up right back where you started. This is balanced out by having the most interesting level geometry seen so far. The other big issue is the lack of bosses. Monstro was only rocking one boss in the form of the Parasite Cage, who you fight twice. The first fight has Riku tag along, and he doesn't do much, but it does make for a really cool visual. And the second boss is the first real challenge in the game. The main event in this world is its story. This world sets up some weird metaphysical concepts. Geppetto proving that heart alone can let you travel worlds, which is relevant later in the game, being a prime example. But the best part of this world is that it's actually used to develop Sora and Riku as characters. The world establishes what Sora and Riku's relationship was like when they were kids and gives us a slight status quo shift, and then reaffirms that Riku is truly a different person than the one Sora knew at the beginning of the game. It's pretty reminiscent of other edgy Fall to Darkness characters. Sasuke and Anakin come to mind, but the dynamic here is kinda hard to put into words. I can put into words why it works though, because everything Riku does still has an underlying feeling of selflessness to his actions. The world itself feels surprisingly melancholy. The unending maze of Heartless and a weird, abstract representation of a whale's innards is something that can really start to get to you. The entire place is grotesque without being visually disgusting. But also, I think the visuals they did choose could have been better, because, it looks like a kid threw up a bunch of Fruit Loops. The world theme, A Very Small Wish, is also amazing. It's probably in, my top 5 Kingdom Hearts songs. This world is an easy platinum rank for its fun level geometry and story content. It'd be in Diamond, but it's just too short, and lacking a second boss really does hurt it. Although the fact it's this good while being so short does say a lot about how unnecessarily bloated the first 3 worlds are in terms of content. Next up, we have the Undersea Kingdom of Atlantica from The Little Mermaid. Let's start with the story. SDG gets turned into the fish people. Little Mermaid wants to see the surface, Big Mermaid goes nuh-uh, Medium Mermaid tells Little Mermaid that she can see the surface, Medium Mermaid turns into Biggest Mermaid, then dies. Now at first glance, this just makes the world seem like the movie. It's the same major plot beats, but it's missing one major character. Prince Eric. Taking out the plot but still keeping Ariel's fascination with the surface creates a domino effect to her character that paints her in a completely different light. In the movie, she's a lovesick princess who can explore 70% of the planet but chooses the surface for a guy she just met, while here she's adventurous and has been cooped up inside of the palace for most of her life. A subtle change, but one that connects her to the Destiny Island trio way more thematically. This world completely overhauls how Sora plays, and it's not terrible, but by the time you get used to the controls, the world is basically over. Swimming is also very restrictive as it moves a good portion of your physical abilities, leaving you only with magic to rely on. And I kinda like that. It makes your stat building actually matter. Even outside of combat, the world has other problems. There's way too much backtracking, and the triggers for progressing the plot are weirdly obtuse. And exploring would be cool because the world has decent level of geometry, but everything looks the damn same, and it's super easy to get lost in the more open areas. Also, the background music is Under the Sea, and that song gets real old real quick. The boss fights here are also not great. Both would be much better if it weren't for the swimming controls. Ursula round 1 is a neat magic gimmick, but it goes on for a bit too long if you didn't properly stock up on ethers beforehand. Giant Ursula is just not fun. The fight revolves around balancing your own placement from her and her projectile attacks. But for the most part, almost none of your offensive magic really works on Ursula, and physical attacks put you in way too much danger. Ariel herself is pretty middle-of-the-road party member. She's largely good with support, but can't really attack well. She's better than Aladdin and Jack Skellington, but worse than Tarzan and the other 2 remaining party members. Overall, this world does have some interesting ideas into it, but it's bogged down by a really obtuse gimmick. If I had to give this a rating, I'd go with crazy. Not good enough for ass, but not so bad it's dismal. But before I was talking about a party member that's better than Ariel, one of those party members is Peter Pan, who we find in Neverland. Except not really, as you never actually go to Neverland, but I'm getting ahead of myself. SDG plays Sea of Thieves. Riku is stupid and drags off Kiwi to the endgame. It's mostly set up for the final act of the game and doesn't really have much going on outside of that, so it works well that it's the last Disney World before the game gets serious. In terms of design, the world is basically just a straight line to the boss fights, and while there are secrets to be found when interacting with certain objects, there isn't much physical exploring to do. But this is also in between 2 worlds that are very exploration heavy, so it does serve as a nice break. It also has a really cool set piece of flying with pixie ducks, which helps keep it a little bit of whimsy before the final act. Kairi has made very sparse appearances all game, so outside of the tutorial, the audience has spent little time with her. So using how Peter Pan, a known cares a lot about Wendy, works very well to tell the audience how much Sora cares about Kairi and the lengths he'll go to save her. Peter Pan is also arguably maybe the best ally in the game. He's constantly using Stop and Arrow, which are amazing support spells, but he also still has really good attacks, so no matter what he's doing, he feels helpful. You also get Tinkerbell as a summon here, and she's easily top 3 in the game. When she's out, she constantly regens you, and if you do die with her out, she gives you an instant revive, and this is the only way for her to leave without the player's input. The two boss fights here are also really good. The first one is Anti-Sora. He spends most of the world just kind of emoting on you and your party, which is pretty funny, but his actual fight is just kind of okay. Not for what it is, but for what it isn't. His pattern follows the same formula of the shadow enemies you've been dealing with all game, but with Sora's main attack animations. And I really wish they incorporated some other moves from Sora, like his magic or limits into the fight. The only real challenge is fighting in such a cramped space, which honestly goes for the entire world. This problem is alleviated once you get outside of the ship and fight Captain Hook himself. Hook's fight is easily the best Disney boss in the game. First off, he fights fair for the most part. He'll summon Heartless, yeah, but outside of that, he relies on zero dark magic, just his blade, and a couple of bombs. He also extends the idea about the world being where the game gets serious, but still has whimsy in it. Also, I think Hook is the first person to name drop Hollow Bastion, which feels illegal. It's like if King Michael Rodin just went, haha, Sora, we gotta get to the Keyblade Graveyard. Oh, I didn't talk about the music for Neverland. It's fine. It's very like piratey, nothing super interesting. Oh, I should talk about the visuals. It's all on a pirate ship. It's all of it's on a pirate ship, so it's like it's exactly what you expect. It's cool, it's neat. Captain Hook's room is a cool area, but like it's not super like interesting. Overall, it's a short but competent trip before the end game. I think that just narrowly gets the world. It's a master ranking instead of ultra. Here's the final world ranking, if you really want that to know where they actually all stand. I would like to do KH2 one day if I really could, like outside of ASG, but I've been really enjoying this. If this is gonna be my like magnum opus for like going here, I'm kind of okay with that. This has been a really fun series. I didn't do the KH1 like original worlds, mostly off the fact they're just better. They're all just better. I think the only exception is maybe Destiny Islands, but Traverse Town, Hollow Bastion, and End of the World is like, they're all basically perfect in many regards. Oh yeah. I skipped over Hercules and Pooh also. If this series continues, I have bigger plans for those too. So stay tuned and watch my actual videos. The YouTube channel is Proto Stan. Proto Stan, like Proto Man, but with SC instead of an M. All right, thank you. Goodbye, paisanos.
Hey, paisanos.
After the break, Cameron says shake the baby. I swear we ran it past legal. He said shake the baby. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Up next, Coleman and company wrap up the legendary two-part Wii Party series. Also, Cam, why'd you say that?
Hey all, Coleman here, and whoa, this is deja vu. It's not like we're back for Wii Party and that we didn't do a Wii Party previously this season already with a similar cast here, but we're back for some more Wii Party, but we're not doing Board Game Island this time. We're doing a spin-off of that. It's called Spin-Off. And our same off-screen guest is totally also here again as well.
I'm Mr. Nondescript Soda Brand.
That's better. They froze me in time and then let me loose.
Yep.
Sorry, I almost hit you.
You did almost hit me with the heck.
Oh.
Dang!
Watch this. Oh, wait, I thought it was zero. This dude moves fast.
Yeah, because he's a dog. Dog go bow wow. Dog go bow wow.
I did only just get 4.
Woo! I barely won this.
Barely.
I love it when you talk to me.
D2.
My cash machine. My cash machine.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
Big bonanza!
I love being rich.
You move around and you press the shoot button.
You have two joysticks. You have joysticks.
Look at them cope in the background.
Yeah, there's your joystick.
Who skipped my little guy dancing?
On a Wii remote.
Don't skip him dancing.
Another minigame, Mayo? No.
Multiply.
What is that?
We're at 4,000. Well, guess what? We're fighting for it.
Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me
All
money.
right, Eric.
Come on.
Yeah, I...
What?
Oh!
Oh! By 6? Money was supposed to be mine.
I think you lost all your medals.
Back to 0. Yeah. You can always make more.
Like right now.
I'd have to, I mean...
How much is it right now? Like 500?
It's like
1,700. Oh god. Here's the Crybabies one.
Oh my god, it's so much.
Laz, I'm about to hijack you.
I'm gonna shake this. I'm gonna shake this.
Cam, you gotta stop. Stop crying. When does it end?
I don't know.
It never does. Parenthood sucks.
Oh, come on. Laz got it!
I felt like I was doing exactly what
I
Uterus came in handy.
At the beginning! Yeah, well then he started shaking the Yeah,
I thought I was doing okay.
Finally, a reason to have XX chromosomes.
Oh god.
Well, you get all that money.
What I meant You're no longer out! At the beginning I was doing it before, but he just kept crying and nothing would happen. So I just started shaking a freaking baby!
That's how that actually happens in real life.
Here we go. Oh.
I was doing pretty good.
200 medals, guys. 200 medals.
Woo! Big money, big money. Okay, we gotta stick together if we want to survive.
Peter Griffin! Oh my god, and it's Sam.
And Sam.
That's Bell, I think.
What? What? How's it feel?
Cam, go after Coleman. He's winning.
Screw you guys!
No! Hey.
Ah! No! No!
Oh, it didn't matter. And
Oh.
oh, who you gonna fight?
You gotta have.
Select an opponent. I can have it.
There's a clear
Go rob Cam.
There's
Random.
a clear choice. Why would you do random? Why would you do random?
Iris,
Because
I respect
you guys know how to play this one?
I respect it.
No, he just hit play.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here.
No, he gave you the instructions.
I'll figure it out.
There.
That was not on purpose. It just did it. It just echoed me there.
I've never seen someone get fed free stuff more than Coleman. He's in first.
You tried looking in the mirror.
Stop!
He wasn't even winning half the
Stop
big games.
playing.
He's playing. He's playing.
Let me get some balloons.
And it didn't matter.
Maybe should have finished this explanation.
It's not a hard game to do.
You know, I'm commenting this entire match right now. Is this how a Smash Bros. Commentator feels?
Oh man, that was it.
Yeah.
That was
That's
it.
Jover.
And Eric's going to say goodbye to half his
Yeah, no, it's Jover. Messed up the singular one.
Look at that!
It could all be taken away so fast.
And give me half your medals.
Should have been somebody else.
Alright, well, you
I
will
wonder
have to leave now.
Lucky.
No. More money.
It's a lot of money.
Alright, one of you guys are going to have to get all that moolah on the
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
On this installment of Cam is Constipated.
Class, let's see how far you can get a mystery touch before this is over.
See how many Pokemon gym badges I can get.
No! Give me my shit back!
Cam, just keep going, dude. They refill.
Give me my shit!
You gotta be joking.
Come on, get your
You gotta be joking.
Okay, actually, you're kind of making a comeback.
Okay.
Get the sheep.
You gotta get close to him, dude. Get close. Get real
the
close.
sheep.
Come on, Cam. Gotta keep moving forward.
Move the damn sheep.
Coleman, you just gotta stall him at this point.
I've never seen stalling
There's not
tactics in
enough
a
time
mini
for
game.
that game.
That was such a stall.
I've never seen stalling tactics in a mini.
It was like
You
5
won
seconds. That was
timeout.
not a stall.
I haven't seen stalling this great since Melee,
Do you
dude.
know what a stall is? Because that is not
He
a...
just stood there in the middle and kept shaking it.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, so he stalled you.
He didn't move at all.
Take his coins.
1,300.
Wow, Coleman, you're rich.
Over 9,000!
It's time for the comeback of the century, dog. I'm changing that coat. Switch out C for an H.
Ooh.
Hope.
I'm sticking with
Because that's why I said it doesn't matter, because, like, whoever wins the bank just wins it.
Start your engines.
Alright.
Oh, this is
Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Coleman.
I thought it would like have like an in-between time.
I really thought there would be more delay.
That's why I thought so.
Yeah, this is over.
That's... Congratulations, Coleman. How do you feel?
I feel a song coming on. 25,850.
Rich Coleman.
Oh man, that 1,000 is really gonna make a difference.
Well, at least you got second.
I would have been in second.
You said Thanksgiving like it was my fault. Both of us couldn't do anything.
But I feel pretty good about that minigame.
Shouldn't have played well.
Coleman, how do you feel?
Look at that.
Well, thanks for watching.
Shake your baby.
Really don't do that.
Go watch some more All Systems Go.
Shake your
Really
baby.
hard.
Please
Shake your
stop
baby
saying
really
that.
hard.
Peace out.
After the break, Erick and Cam lead a pony to the water and just pray she drinks. All Systems Go will be right back.
Up next, Sophia learns about the weird world of pocket monsters. Or Pokemon, if you want to be specific. Oh, and there's a whole race. I almost forgot about that.
Okay, I've named my Mudkip. His name is Myrtle.
All right, Cam, once Cam nicknames his, and the race officially starts. Oh, cool. You good?
Yes.
Then we're off to the races.
I might have been playing.
Oh, you cheater.
Just kidding.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Myrtle grew to level 7. So how do I get my health points up?
You go to a Pokemon Center or use a potion?
It's the red building.
Got it.
There's
Does that cost anything?
What?
Like restoring your Pokemon?
No,
to full
it's
health?
free. That's what makes this
free healthcare.
That's the magical part of it. It's the fiction.
This is beautiful. I got one.
You got one.
Oh, it's a Wurple. Yes.
You shouldn't be saying yes to that.
Yeah, Wurmple's fine. I just got a Wurmple.
Wurmple's bad.
Okay, so if I want this Wurmple, instead of fighting it, do I hit bag?
You have to soften it up
You
first.
want to damage it a little bit so it's easier to catch.
Copy.
But not kill it.
Well, then I'm just gonna tackle it once.
The Wurmple I'm fighting is about to waste all my Pokeballs.
Wow, Wurmple used tackle. Now what do I do?
When it gets like health around like yellow or red, that's when you throw a ball.
It's yellow, so which button do I press?
Bag and then Pokeball.
Got
the
it.
gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a nickname to the captured Wurmple. Wood.
The Wurmple?
Wood the Wurmple.
Wood the Wurmple.
No, I'm gonna name it Woody. Woody the Wurmple.
You wasted a lot of time.
Fine, I'll name mine Buzz.
I'm not here to win a race. I'm here to learn how to play Pokemon.
Sophia, I'm very happy to see your just general love for the most mid Pokemon I ever thought of.
They're all fun. They are all cute.
They did do a good job this generation with designs.
It's omnivore. Will eat anything. Same. Distinguished feature. How large its fangs are in comparison. Okay.
There's something back here.
Are you reading the descriptions of Pokemon?
Every time.
Nice.
Our eyes met. I'll take you on with my bug Pokemon. Oh gosh, okay. Is there a way for me to use like a Pokemon that's not Myrtle?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have 4 different Pokemon that I can use.
Yeah, go to your...
You can either go, and when you're out of battle, you can switch which one is first, or you can switch in the middle of the battle.
Yep.
Like bag or
Yes.
Pokemon?
Yep.
Pokemon. Oh, I'm in the next city.
Oh my god, Luke is about to die! No!
Switch.
Ah!
Switch something you don't care about.
I care about all of them!
Okay,
That's your fault. You got attached.
Sophia, what level are they, and what level are you facing?
4.
What are they all?
3.
Sophia, you gotta grind before you battle people.
Okay, that's why I asked, because now I just lost Zucchini.
Which one's Zucchini?
My Zigzagoon.
Oh no.
What happened?
What happened? Cam, what happened?
He lost his starter again.
Oh no!
Hey, he won last time that happened.
Tucker!
How's it feel, Cam?
I don't even want to play anymore.
How's it feel to repeat it?
This is the same as last time. It kills my mood, and I don't want to play anymore.
And then you won, so.
Yeah, I'm looking at what does PP stand for?
That.
What does a PP stand
That's the thing
for?
that comes out of your body. Jokes. No. It just means how many times you can do the move. Once you heal up, it resets. Well, Phil's back up.
Copy. Cow cowy baby.
Liberals are dead. They're killing liberals, and they're dead.
Which one was liberal?
Liberal's dead.
Which one was liberal?
Wishmer, he's dead.
That's got. Looking at what you're fighting, that's a little bit of your own fault.
Yeah.
I shouldn't use the same type against a different one, right? Like, I shouldn't use a Wingle against another Wingle?
No, sometimes it's just neutral. So, like, it'd be the equivalent of using, like, a tackle against a normal type.
So there's no point.
But also, you wouldn't have anything that beats a Wingle. I don't think so, anyways.
I have my starter.
That's, like, better than one, but, like...
Your starter. Glad you still have that.
Not all of us are so privileged to still have that.
Yeah.
What are you?
What is it?
A slackoth.
Slack off.
Slack off?
Slackoth.
Slack off sounds worse.
It's like slack off.
Slacking off.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna... You know what?
Does he have the ability where he sleeps a turn?
Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah, his ability is that he just sleeps a turn. So he's really bad.
He can sort of be good.
Just wastes the turn.
Psst.
Yes.
What does an ether do?
It refills your PP.
It refills my PP?
Yes. That's what I said.
Good to know. What is this?
What is it?
It's a shroomish. It's like draining Myrtle's energy.
Take it, catch it.
Yeah, it's a shroom. It's cool. That's what.
No, it's in a battle.
Oh. And then you gotta go deliver Devin goods.
Oh my god.
To, Steven. No.
Myrtle's almost dead. I gotta swap them out.
Yeah, you're using a water type against a grass type.
Okay, I don't know that.
No, I'm just saying that's why.
Well, now you do. You good, Sophia?
No.
What's wrong?
Almost everybody's either dead or paralyzed. Or poisoned.
Casper's leveled up from there.
I'm gonna lose.
Uh-oh.
You're losing your mind?
In the battle.
But in the end, which one's more important?
Well, now 4 of my 6 Pokemon are dead, so...
That's not bueno.
Need a Everstone 4 if I'm being honest.
I'm going turbo.
I'm going turbo.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But I had no other option, and now all of my Pokemon are dead!
Did you enjoy this?
I really did enjoy this. This was a lot of fun.
I'm happy to hear.
I'm gonna go home, and instead of taking a nap, I'm gonna keep playing.
We made a Pokemon
We made a Pokemon fan out of you. That was all this was about. Sophia, there is no video. I kind of lied.
We didn't even record.
Cam, you have fun?
I did. I got a little doomed for a second, but I
really thought you were going to say no, I didn't.
No, I did.
Cam had a horrible time. Tune in next time when Cam and Eric just sit over my shoulder and get me to my first gym.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, I'm stopping the recording.
After the break, Coleman lore dumps about his favorite Death Battle knockoff's 10-year anniversary. All Systems Go will be right back.
Up next, Coleman gives us an insight into one of his favorite YouTube channels.
Hey y'all, Coleman here, and today I want to sit down and talk to you about one of my all-time favorite YouTube series, Cartoon Fight Club. Now, before you think that this is just some like weird spin-off animated version of the movie Fight Club, then you will be mistaken. Cartoon Fight Club is an online internet versus show that is definitely similar to that of Death Battle, which you likely may have definitely heard of, but it's definitely more of an independent versus show ran by the YouTuber Animation Rewind. It has been around for 10 years, this year marks its 10th anniversary, and I just wanted to sit down and talk about my favorite things about it and why I love it so much. So Cartoon Fight Club, being a versus show, is something I'm already going to like already, because versus shows in general
are like one of my favorite genres of YouTube because I just love being able to sit down and take two characters from different franchises and see how their stats would compete against each other and who therefore would win in a fight. I've always just found that to be a really fun and interesting concept. With that being said, because Cartoon Fight Club is definitely a smaller versus show than Death Battle, it's not gonna have like a lot of the production values that Death Battle will have, but overall, I still think Cartoon Fight Club's charm and its independency helps it stand out from the crowd, and it has a lot of ambitions that you don't even see Death Battle do. One of the biggest things that Animation Rewind does for Cartoon Fight Club is at the end of his battles, once they have solidified who won, he tends to offer rematches with different circumstances and sometimes even some different characters. For instance, I think the best example that comes to my head right now is Homer Simpson versus Peter Griffin. He offered a rematch, and the rematch came, admittedly a few years later, but it just was a matter of supply and demand for that matter. But the rematch was the Simpsons family versus the Griffin family. And I just want to say that, to this day, that's one of my favorite episodes, just because I love Family Guy and Simpsons. But there have been other examples too. That's one thing that Animation Rewind likes to incorporate heavily, is the circumstances of whether or not prep time is involved in fights, because generally speaking, you don't really see versus shows incorporate circumstances, because normally what they do is they just have one-on-one composite matches with no preparation, and then they just incorporate everything that's involved. But what I like about Animation Rewind is that he factors in incarnations of characters and specific circumstances, because that really adds substance and personality to the show, because it really shows that you can't just fuse characters together just to give them the upper hand. You have to use a specific timeline, a specific incarnation, and a specific character with certain feats that another may not have to get a specific result. Not to mention, there have been plenty, and I mean plenty, of Dragon Ball versus DC fights, and specifically Goku versus Superman fights, where some versions Goku won, some versions Superman won. He does multiple incarnations because there are multiple different incarnations that exist independently on their own loyalty and could beat different versions of each other. For example, Dragon Ball Super Goku could definitely beat post-Crisis Superman and New 52 Superman, but pre-Crisis Superman would mop the floor with Goku, even Xeno Goku for that matter, and vice versa. So that's what I really like about Cartoon Fight Club, is that it really goes out to try to make itself stand out by doing different interpretations of battles that have different circumstances or different incarnations of characters. Now that I'm done talking about what I like about the show, I wanted to kind of talk about some of my favorite episodes. One of my favorite episodes is definitely Justice League versus Avengers. That is just a very ambitious fight and a very high quality looking fight. It's one of his Total Wars. Again, something unique to Animation Rewind. Big group team battles between groups of characters from one franchise versus groups of characters from another franchise. There have just been plenty of different interpretations of this one match alone, and even with subsets of matchups with these characters alone. It just goes to show just how dedicated Animation Rewind is to making his fights stand out, because he's aware that there are just overall a lot of different ways you can interpret a battle depending on the circumstance and the characters. There was a matchup that I specifically helped make happen, and that was a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat fight, a full-scale Total War between the two franchises. And again, I'm not going to spoil who won, but what I will say is I had a co-hosting presence in that episode, and I helped out with the research and the script revisal. And I was just really glad to be involved, because I just like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat a lot, and I wanted to see it incorporated into one of my favorite franchises. To this day, Cartoon Fight Club and Rewind Rumble are still two of my all-time favorite web series of all time, and I highly recommend you guys checking them out if you haven't already. In fact, there's an upcoming battle that will be releasing very soon on Cartoon Fight Club, and that is a GTA 5 Battle Royale with Franklin, Michael, and Trevor. I highly recommend you guys checking that out when it comes out. It's coming out very soon, and I make an appearance as a co-host in that episode. I also helped to produce that episode as well, so I hope you guys check it out and are excited about it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say to you all today. Thanks for hearing me ramble, as I always do. Now go watch some more All Systems Go. Peace out.
After the break, my third favorite popularity contest, after the United States elections and the Sanrio rankings. All Systems Go will be right back.
Hey,
paisanos.
I'm Eric, and this is...
And I'm the co-host, Cam.
As we present to you everyone's favorite award show, the Goies. We at ASG love awards so much, we're giving them to ourselves.
Starting out with our first award, we have...
Best Video, and it goes to The Maid Cafe by Laz Rogers. No Princess Peach is taking a go. All right, next up, I think you want to say this one.
We have the best live segment is Hear Me Out Game from Eric Watts. There you go, Eric.
I think she printed out 2 of these on accident. The actual best live segment is Mario Kart NPC Game by Jenny Zaborowski. We'll grab hers later. Best live creation, the Jimmy Toomey Power Hour by Vinny Sonato.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Really earned this one.
The best fake news story is ASG sued by Nintendo, Joe Ziak.
Where is he?
There you go, buddy.
Get up here, Joe. Best new production goes to us. Oh, I lied. It's a 3-way tie. We have Austin Monty.
We have Griffin Owen.
And we have Luke. I feel bad if I mispronounce this. Guttridge.
There you go, Griffin.
Get on camera for
Congrats.
a second. Look.
I did it. I made it.
They'll get these later. Next up, we have Best Returning Production.
It is Spencer Payton.
We have another one.
And Kenzie Daughtery. There you go.
Get in there, Spencer.
This one may come as a surprise.
Man, it was a real close race.
It was very close.
Don't know how you won it. Best new talent goes to Vinny Sonato.
Whoa, who would have guessed?
Never would have seen it coming.
Oh, and for the best returning talent is Eric Watts. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, Cam. That was it. That was a pretty fast go.
Yeah.
After break, we have the end.
All systems go. We'll be right back.
Great.
Hi, everybody. I get to lead off the senior goodbyes for tonight. In case if you don't know who I am, my name is Anthony Friga, and I am the Audio and Entertainment Director for Black Squirrel Entertainment. I'm extremely thankful for my time being a part of ASG. I joined in the fall of 2022 after working CG the previous semester. It's been fun getting to talk about games that practically no one has ever heard of, or my love of Geometry Dash that we just saw earlier in the show. Thank you all to the cast, current and past. You are all amazing and talented people, and I'm excited to see what is in store for you all. To the production crew, you guys are the backbone of the show, and have continued to help grow the show better and better during my time here. Thank you to current showrunners Jenny and Sammy, and past showrunners Jade and Joe. ASG is not what it is today without y'all. I will be continuing to watch the show post-graduation, so keep up the good work that goes into the show. And to say it one last time, thank you. All systems go.
Hello. For my goodbye, I'm very thankful for being in ASG. I started in 2022 from learning from my friends in Olson Hall, and one of them is here, and another is here, and others there too. I've had a great time being on the show. I made some of the best friends I could ever make, and this experience is going to be with me for the rest of my life. I want to thank Jenny and Sammy for producing this show and making the show as great as it can be. I also want to thank Tony Perialis and Lily Fisher for making my intro to TV2 such smooth and nice and being so welcoming to me. I also want to thank all the current cast and past casts we've had and everybody here. I love you all. You are such great friends. I don't know what I'd do without you. That's all I got.
Hi, I'm Darian. I hosted the show a couple years ago. I haven't been around much lately, but even though I've had to take a step back from the show, I just love the community that the show has brought. I've loved every week just getting to see everybody's interests that are not as often celebrated as others, like hearing Anthony talk about Geometry Dash, or Sophia talk about Papa Louie, or hear Eric talk about Pokemon, or Cam talk about Pokemon, or Laz talk about Pokemon. Some interests are more celebrated than others, but seeing the passion that everyone puts into everything that they do here is just incredible. And I really hope, to my fellow seniors and to everyone else when you graduate, I really hope you just hold on to that for the rest of your lives.
Hi, it's my turn. I got into ASG in the spring of 2022. I was introduced to it by Tony Perialis and Jay Denish, who were the current showrunners around that time. I got involved with it, and I realized how much I genuinely loved this place. I got a little bit more involved being an AP at one point, and then eventually being able to co-produce with Jay Denish. This place has not only just served as what I can refer to as a home, it's the place where I found friends that I can call family. And being able to have the opportunity to sit here today means the world to me. And some people I want to thank are, again, Tony Perialis and Jay Denish for being the previous showrunners. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not be here today. Some people that are not here, like Austin Nad and Anne-Marie Carabinas. Sharing a love of Persona with you guys is always a great conversation. Another person, Kayla Earnhardt, who's off doing something really amazing, and I hope that you're continuing to do what you love. I want to thank my roommates, Cam, Anthony, and Micah. I couldn't ask for any better roommates than you guys, and I want to thank my mom, my dad, and my sister Maddie. You guys are what I may consider the biggest supporters of what I do, and if it was not for you guys, I potentially wouldn't even be here today doing what I love. Something that I wanted to mention was a song that, is by Green Day, Time of Your Life, because it's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. And I had the time of my life. I can confidently say that while I am sad to be going, if I'm sad, then that means I did it right. So maybe that's something really beautiful. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Paisano's man. So stop me if you heard this one before. I joined TV2 back when it was still called that because a bunch of people I lived in the same building as were also doing it, and I was cool friends with them back then. And honestly, that's about the end of the story. Like after that, it was just doing fun stuff for the sake of it. It felt really good to have like a lot of support by my friends, to have a chance to yap about just stuff that I would never really get a chance to do otherwise. Honestly, everyone here is like a really big example of that, of just being there to like help me for really dumb ambitions and flights of fancy that really just wouldn't be worth it doing it alone. Honestly, yeah, that's about it. Anybody who's watching this, whoever thinks about making something, even if it's just for you, do it. It's really worth it, and it feels real good. Goodbye, Paisanos. Everybody's been telling me to say that.
Hey guys. I haven't been around as long as everyone else, obviously. I only really joined in with entertainment stuff about last year. However, I'm still incredibly thankful for the opportunity to be a part of this with these lovely people. Thank you so much, Jenny Zabrowski, for taking a chance on letting me join this show. I had a lot of fun as cast, and I had an even more fun time as host, which is something I didn't think would happen. I see the work you do every single day for this show, and we cannot thank you enough for it. Thank you to the viewers for watching. Obviously, without a show, we wouldn't have fans, and without fans, we wouldn't have a show. It's a vicious cycle, but it's one I'm glad to feed into. That's all, folks.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry. So I joined ASG in the fall of 2021 by mistake. I was supposed to only audition for what was then called the agenda, and then they said, you're auditioning for All Systems Go too, right? And I said, yeah, I'm auditioning for All Systems Go. I BS some stuff about Star Wars and The Office and Lord of the Rings, and here I am, getting to share my interests that definitely don't always share with everybody else, but I'm so grateful to those that allowed me to share them. I want to thank Jade, Tony, Joe, Jenny, and Sammy for giving me the chance to talk about the things that I love, even though it didn't always 100% fit the mold, like teaching an Italian class or talking about RuPaul's Drag Race the one time. I want to thank all of my cast members and my friends that I've made through this process. You guys are incredible, great friends to me, and I'm so glad that y'all have sat through my Italian classes, my Jackbox gameplays, everything that I've made you do for the sake of a video. It's just a testament to how much we love to help each other. I want to thank the crew, both current and past. You are all the backbone of this show. If I don't tell you enough, as production and film distribution director, I am very proud of you, and I think you all do incredible work. I want to thank my friends who not only watch my stuff and tell me that it's cool, or they just lie and they are just trying to make me happy. I also want to thank my family, including my brother, who I'm staring at right now. Vinny, I'm so proud of you. Keep making great things. Keep making me proud. I love you. I love ASG. And I'm going to try and get myself back together. I didn't think I was going to be last. This sucks. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Don't keep taking away from me.
Okay. It's not done yet. We have a kicker chat.
We do have a better chat.
Shout out my boy Ryan.
Shout out Ryan.
Shout out Ryan.
Yeah.
None of you guys mentioned Ryan.
God, I forgot.
I'm so grateful to this show. You guys are so fun. I'm gonna miss listening to all the brain rot music every week. I'm gonna say it.
You can still do that.
You still can.
You have full power to do it on
Still
Spotify.
the same unless someone's forcing you to.
Exactly. It's different when
true.
it's on your own free will. It's completely different when it's on
I did want to say, I forgot to. I wanted to say thank you to my mom and dad because I know they're watching right now. Hi guys, I love you both.
Hi,
thank you
Mrs.
so
Momtel.
much.
Hi, Cam's parents. The Big C was amazing, by the
All
way.
right, let's play a quick game. Best thing, worst thing for ASG. How about let's start with you? What was the best thing about ASG? And what was the worst thing about ASG?
ASG.
The best
Why was the worst thing the
Oh no,
Overwatch 2
the worst
video?
thing was not ASG. I don't know if there was a worst thing.
Best thing about ASG for me, getting introduced to a lot of video games through a lot of the people that who've worked on the show, all the cast members, got to get really introduced to a lot of great games.
I know my best thing. My
All right.
very first season, we did not have a lot of cast members, so it was pretty much just like everybody did something every week. And I would always go on the discussion panels, and I would never know what we were talking
Do you
about.
remember the Five Nights at Freddy's test?
Yes,
Do you remember
that's
that
another
one?
thing. So what we did the first season was they would tell me the topic, and I would do a Google search for like 2 minutes before we went live, and I BS'd the whole thing. And Tony Perry-Alice hated how good I was at it. I like to say it's a blessing more so than a curse. But yes, what you're referring to is something that I did for the practice episode that spring of 2022, I think?
It was 22.
I don't remember. I made you guys rapid fire teach me everything that you could about Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's true.
That was the most overstimulating experience I've ever had, and I remember none of it.
Okay, so I don't remember that.
All right,
I remember Bite of 87.
I have a thing for worst ASG for me. I don't know if anybody remembers from like a long time ago the discussion.
Overwatch video? Of course.
No, no, I was gonna
Burned
say
in there.
I did, and that was the sauces discussion. I don't know if anybody
That was
remembers.
a pretty. Oh my god.
Yeah, we had a discussion on
Oh my
literal,
God, I remember
on literal
that.
sauces,
And it
like
makes
ketchup.
sense why he created Food Flash.
Yes,
Co-created.
exactly. That discussion panel was awful.
Like
Not for anybody who was on it, but like
Like a phoenix born from trash, because geez.
I also love
Eric, you're so funny.
ASG during Extra Life.
yeah.
Everyone has so
Yeah.
much fun. I learned how to play Smash during that.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite. Is
Same
Extra
here. I
Life.
gotta throw the Smash tournament was so much fun.
Yeah, remember when you guys named a team after my sorority?
Yes. Thank you, Nick. Same.
On the board, there was just Chi Omega.
I remember I really made Joe upset because I played Pyro Mithra and I kept using the
did.
side B and he got very mad at me.
I did get mad at you, because then, you want to know something funny? FanExpo a couple years ago, I was playing against a Marine, I was playing against a Marine, and they played Pyro Mithra, and they kept doing side B. And I was genuinely very upset.
You're like, this is where my tax dollars are going?
Yeah.
What about you guys? What was your favorite thing?
I
I would say my best outcome for ASG, it pushed me to make that Pac-Man clone.
I love that video. I love that video.
And then I published that, and then it went viral and got published in a couple newsletters, which was very cool for me.
I did not know that. You didn't tell us this. No. I didn't know that.
This is so cool right now.
Like, we're not
breaking news.
I don't. It was probably a long time ago.
That's crazy.
Eric?
What about you?
Joe, you said something similar. I'm back into retro gaming. Give me a reason to not buy new things and save my money at all. So that was really nice.
I also remember making Cam and Joe watch the Thanksgiving Peanuts special
in the Olsen Hall Lounge.
The Olsen Hall Lounge videos that we made for
Olsen Hall.
ASG are just hilarious because half of it is what we're doing, the other half is what's going on behind us in the windows.
I remember when you guys were doing the Italian video and I walked out to go grab something and then you would point it at me and I was like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
Too late.
Yeah.
You had no choice. You were going to learn some Italian and you did.
I'm still learning Italian.
You are still learning Italian.
I just remembered a good thing too from ASG. My first semester, I think, making videos, or it was me before. I did a video with Kayla where we were opening Pokemon cards.
I remember
we
that.
did Brilliant Stars, and Kayla pulls a Rainbow Charizard. A Rainbow Charizard. That's a good card, like in terms of money.
I was going to say, like, how good is that?
I'm so upset.
What about in terms of gameplay?
With that, we're out of time, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Joe.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of All Systems Go.
Follow our Instagram for some fun behind-the-scenes content and our YouTube for past episodes.
I'm Anthony Fariga.
I'm Cameron Martell.
I'm Darian Yoder.
I'm Eric Watts.
I'm Joe Ziak.
I'm Sophia Sonato.
And I'm Tyler Wood.
All Systems Go, signing off.